Welcome back to Kingdom Hearts Final Mix Proud Mode Walkthrough Episode 5. I should also say Kingdom Hearts 1.5 Proud Mode Final Mix. There's just so many words to say. This episode's going to be all about Deep Jungle. This starts off with Donald and Sora being pains in each other's butts, crashing the Gummi ship, and this planet's really cool in the sense that it drops you directly into a boss fight against Sabora. There isn't too much to say about Sabora. If you have a combo finisher, use it. You'll see me using Ripple Drive to stun him, and then I just spam him down with magic. If you don't have good magic, just go up and beat him up when he's on the ground. But try to get those combo finishers in. Immediately after Sabora, just jump off the top of the tree. You're going to land in a place called the Tunnel. From the tunnel, you're just going to drop down into the vine, a little mini game, vine sliding, tree sliding game. Anytime you're playing this game, just press start and quit, and that's going to drop you into the campsite, so you can avoid that. You're going to watch a couple cutscenes. You're going to get control of your character, Sora. Right when you get control of your character, Sora, grab the chest in the tent and then talk to Jane. She's basically going to tell you to get some slides. Outside, the first thing you're going to do is interact with the pole right in front of you. That gives you a recipe card. Now interact with the globe to your left. Then go left even more to the chalkboard to get slide number 3. Jump up on these chests to get slide 6. Slide 1. Run all the way down these white tents. Now we got slide 5. Drop off the white tents and immediately turn around for slide 2. Now, as you're passing the tent again, make sure you interact with this record player. That's going to give you more research notes. Then on the giant pile in the middle of the room, you've got your final slide. Now we're going to interact with the clock and the clothesline. Once we interact with the clock and the clothesline, we're going to have every recipe card we need. One recipe is going to double in ether, so we'll get an extra ether. The other recipe is going to take a potion, turn it into a high potion. There is a way to get 2 extra ethers out of this if you only pick up the ether recipe 1 and 2, do the experiment, and then pick up the ether card 3. It's not something that I ever do. I can't remember that I've ever done it. I just kind of know from other people that it exists. When you get to the stove, just hit the stove to open it. That's how you can use fire to light it. Fire! And now you have a high potion. Head back into the tent, and you're going to watch a bunch of slides with Jane. Clayton's also going to come in and say that our friends are probably with the gorillas, so now we're going to head into the vines to find the gorillas. First things first, though, Sabora attacks me when I exit the tent. I find that he does this pretty often. I can't guarantee it happens every time, but same thing as before, use your combo finishers to stun him and then use magic to take him out. I go back into the tent to just quickly heal up my HP, and we are on our way to Hippo Lagoon. So from the tent, turn left, and you're going to take the exit left from leaving the tent. There's going to be a blue trinity on the ground you can grab. It's going to give us some Dalmatians. And now we're going to head into Hippo's Lagoon. I'm going to show you how to get all the chests on the far side of Hippo Lagoon in the future. Right now, we're just going to take the very first vine on our left because we want to get a chest that's up here. It teaches you how to play or how to use the vines, basically. Super simple. Triangle to get on them the first time, X to jump from vine to vine. And just jump your way along, and halfway through you're going to find a chest on the ground with a mithril. And immediately just go forward, grab the rest of the vines, and it's a straight path to the end. Don't go down that little path right there. Right when you get off that last vine, just turn right, take the next vines, and this is going to take you into Vines 2. Inside of Vine 2, you're going to see a cutscene, and you're going to end up at the exit of Vines 2. Turn around and take all of the vines to jump all the way back to the beginning of Vines 2, because we want to grab this chest before we move on. Because if you watch my playthrough, we're never going to come back into Vines 2 in the sense of like running through it. So we got some more Dalmatians. Like every time we come to Vines 2 from now on, it's going to be super quick, in and out. So now we're just going to take the vine back to where we just were, to Donald and Goofy, which is all the way across. And you can see, I'm going to say vines a million times because there's no other way to say it, but that ivy or vines going up this tree. We're going to grab onto those and we're going to climb up. This is going to take us to an area called the climbing trees. Inside of the climbing trees, we're just going to flip a U-turn and we're going to jump up and we're going to go right into the treehouse. But before that, there's a blue trinity you can grab here. And you get a Thunder G out of that, which is a weapon for your ship. Gummi ship. You're going to see a quick little cutscene where Clayton is being the normal villain that Clayton is. Right after this cutscene, it's a full stop moment. Don't do anything else except for what I tell you to do. Jump off the treehouse into the tunnel, but don't jump down into the tunnel. I'm going to go ahead and save my game just because this is an important part and I want to be able to reset if I need to, if I messed up. So jump up and you're going to have a treasure chest we haven't opened yet in this playthrough, but you could have gotten it earlier. You're going to head into the treetops, and the treetops will take you right back to the climbing trees, and we're going to go right back to the treehouse. And the reason we did this was to reset the treehouse. You need to fight Sabor again in the treehouse for him to create a hole in the floor of the treehouse. So you won't have any combat indicators when you come up here. No Heartless spawn in this world yet unless you continue the story. Once you get up to the treehouse, you'll see that I get a red combat, or my command menu turns red, which indicates combat. And you'll see Sabora has jumped through the floor, creating a hole in the floor. This hole is important for later when we start trying to get the Ultima weapon. If you want to make your Ultima weapon grind easier and you want to be able to get a special accessory from the pink mushroom that spawns here, make sure you create this hole in the floor. We're not going to use this hole for a long time, but it's really important for later. Drop down into the hole, turn around, and we're going to grab another chest. Again, just jump right off the treehouse, and we're going to go back into the tunnel. And I heal up right here and save again. Love saving. Now that I got that hole in the floor, it's doubly important that I don't crash out. I mean, I could get it again quickly, but always save. Get on the vines, quit out immediately, drop down into the camp. Now you're heading right back into the tent. Okay, when you head into the tent, head immediately back out of the tent, and you're going to see a cutscene where Heartless are attacking a gorilla. Thunder works really well on these power wilds if they're grouped up, so feel free to use Thunder. And jumping and using Thunder basically allows you to cast it quicker and stay out of danger. I'm full jumping, but you can cast it quicker if you do a short jump. A short jump being where you just tap the button instead of holding it down. So let's go ahead and finish off these power wilds. And basically every time you finish one of these, you're going to get a gummy piece from the gorilla. And those gummy pieces aren't super useful. You can use them if you want to. But we get another Meteor G on this planet too, and that's the only one that I use from this planet. Except for the Warp Gummy, of course. Okay, so the gist of the areas you want to go to first. You start off in the campsite area. You're going to go right into the bamboo thicket. And then you're going to continue through the bamboo thicket when you're done there to here, which is the cliffs. Okay, so to the right of the tent is the bamboo thicket, and then the cliffs. Once we're done here, it's time to actually head back to the campsite, and we're going to head to Hippo Lagoon. And now we're actually going to show you what to do in Hippo Lagoon. Before you leave the cliffs, oh my god, I almost forgot, there are 2 chests up top. So make sure you climb up, grab both of the chests. You got a Mega Potion, I think it's a Mithril. It's a Mithril Shard. Okay, once you get back to the tent, you're going to go to the left now, which takes you to Hippo Lagoon. So instead of going to the right, we're going to the left, Hippo Lagoon. And now I'm going to show you how to get across all the chests on the other side. This hippo you got to jump on and jump across. That should be a really easy jump. The next hippo is the jump that gets everybody that's really difficult. But we're not going to the hippo, we're going to the left, and we're jumping up these couple of trees to grab a Mega Potion. From this tree, you can actually jump down to the second hippo. And I think this is far easier than continually messing up the jump on the first hippo. Go right across from the trees we just jumped up on, and we're going to go across these other trees to grab the last chest in this area. This last chest is a Dalmatian's chest. Fingers crossed. Actually, it's not the last chest in the area. Ah, it's a Meteor G. Okay, the Meteor G. This is the one Gummi I'm going to use from this planet. So now I'm going to jump across the Hippo. If you ever need help getting across a jump, you can always attack at the end of the jump and you'll kind of gain some extra height. Sometimes this interacts like you hit a wall and you bounce off. Not great, but you'll learn as you play it. Climb up the vine, tree, vine, whatever it is, and now we're going to immediately turn around, climb up another set of vines, and we're going up to the climbing trees. In the climbing trees, we have a couple more, I think 5 more, 6 more power wilds to take care of, and we'll see the gorilla again. Okay, we get another movement Gummi. This is basically a mobility Gummi. From here, you're going to head right back into the treehouse, which is that opening right there. Inside the treehouse, you won't see any enemies at first, but you're just going to run up to the top where the treehouse actually is, and there will be more power wilds inside to fight.
Thunder! Thunder!
If you pay really close attention to the window I jumped in, you'll see Donald's out there like being completely useless. Like his little staff's just like he's trying to run into the wall and get in. Okay, that's the last gorilla we had to save, so now we're just going to jump off the treehouse and immediately back down into the tunnel, go down the tree, hit quit, drop back into the camp, and we're going to head into the tent, and we're going to head immediately right back out of the tent. This is going to trigger a cutscene where a gunshot goes off, and that is coming from the bamboo thicket to our right. So we're going to head right to the bamboo thicket, and this is going to be our final fight with Sabora. Sabora is a little bit harder here, not much harder, but he does have more, or she, I think there's debate whether it's a she or he. Disney says it's one, and then Kingdom Hearts Wiki says it's another, or like the actual recordings in the game and stuff. But anyways, they have lunge attacks a lot more. They don't get tired as frequently, and it's harder to stun them. But you're going to do the same thing. You're going to try to stun them, use some magic to take them down. And they also have the ability to jump into the bamboo and kind of disappear from sight, and then they'll randomly jump back out and attack you. If they do that, which they don't do for me, you're going to basically just pay attention and get ready to dodge roll the second you hear any noise. And you can also use your lock-on button to lock on them when they're in the bamboo thicket. Okay, now we beat Sabora. It's time to get ready for the final boss, Clayton. You're going to see the cutscene where Sabora is just straight up, like... We talk about Sora killing and stuff, but Sabora's... he's out. So you'll see a little cutscene where Jane and Tarzan's gorilla buddy are in trouble. You're going to head back into the tent after the Sabora fight, and you're going to see that Tarzan's really worried, and he thinks that Jane is near the treehouse. So this is a good time to go over these white mushrooms since I just got to them. Basically, you have 3 spells, Thunder, Fire, Blizzard, and you're going to use those 3 spells to interact with these guys. If they lay down on the ground right like that, that means you need the Cure ability. If they wave their faces like you just saw, that's Blizzard. So if they do the Cure thing, don't interact with them, just don't use magic on them. The little light above their head is Thunder. And if they're shivering, you need to use Fire. So right there, the lightning above their head, that's Thunder. Right here, shivering, so you use Fire. And the last one that you can interact with is where they kind of scrunch down and wave themselves off. And that means they're too hot, so you use Blizzard. They're pretty simple to do once you get used to them. And doing them anytime you see them is kind of important because they give you Mystery Goo. This one actually takes me too long to get to, so you'll see if you take too long, it goes back to normal, then you use the ability. And my brain short-circuited. Okay, so we're back in Hippo Lagoon. And I'm going to show you how to get up on the tree. See, I try to jump on this hippo, and I miss it. It's not a super hard jump once you get used to it, but I still miss it all the time. I say all the time, like occasionally. So I'm not even gonna try again. I'm just gonna run over to the trees, and I'm just gonna jump on the back of the last hippo, and then I'm gonna jump and Keyblade Strike to get to the end. We're gonna climb up to vines too, and then we're immediately gonna turn around and climb up to the climbing trees. Okay, so this fight, you have unlimited monkeys that can spawn. So if you want to, you can sit here and XP farm. Whenever you're done XP farming, just use some magic on that big black fruit. And wait until it grows in size, and then just pound away at it, and you'll be done with that fight. Jane will say something to you, and now it's time to go fight Clayton. Go back into the treetops, head back into the tunnel from there, save your game, and now we're heading back into the bamboo thicket. And real quick, we might as well just go over this little black buddy here. I forget what he's called. We're gonna go over him twice in this video. Later, I get 3 lightning shards from him, but you want lightning shards. The real one jumps up in the air, and you just have to chase him down and you know, track him like a game of mixing up the balls and stuff. It's RNG based on how good you do. Even if you do really good, you could get nothing. I think you have to get 4 in a row to get like a guaranteed shard, but you can still get shards if you don't get 4 in a row. So even if you miss one, there's no point in quitting. Like, I'm pretty sure I don't get them all on this run. I got 3 in a row, and I still didn't get a lightning shard, but later on, you'll see I get 3 in a row and get a lightning shard. And then I get 4, and I get a lightning shard, and then I get a final lightning shard. So here, I want to say... Oh, so here, I got all 4 of them, and I only got 1 lightning shard. Okay, so I re-entered the bamboo thicket as if I didn't see the little black rhapsodies. And we're just going to go right across the bamboo thicket to the cliff. The Clayton fight's going to start with Clayton and 4 power wilds. Use some thunder or magic to clear out the power wilds very quickly. And then just make sure you're constantly moving, jumping, or dodging to stay out of the way of Clayton's shooting. Once you finally get all the power wilds down, just go beat on Clayton for a couple seconds. And then this interesting cutscene plays. I say interesting, it's pretty cool in my opinion because it's a destructible environment in Kingdom Hearts. It's the only one that I can remember. The stealth sneak breaks through the wall, and it actually opens up a whole new section of the boss fight. And there are actually additional walls that are breakable by the boss, like the one on the far right, by the boss during the fight. So if you ever hide behind those walls for cover, he'll actually break them. So at this point, it's just a dodge attacks and wail game. Get on him, dodge, hit him a couple more times. Anytime he's doing a motion like that where he's just animation locked, use it as a chance to just wail on him. Once you get him stunned, you'll hit him a couple more times, and Clayton and the Stealth Sneak are actually going to separate. At this point, the most dangerous thing is... There are basically 3 things you need to worry about. 1 is Clayton shooting. 2 is if you're too far away from the Stealth Sneak, he'll charge up his hands and shoot right here, and shoot a wind magic out, basically. And the 3rd thing you need to be worried about is whenever his eyes glow like this, he'll shoot out 3 sets of 2 beams that you need to run away from, dodge, or get behind a wall. But besides those, and Clayton occasionally shooting you from behind if you're not moving around enough, this is a pretty straightforward fight. Use your magic as much as you can, especially if you chose the staff like I did. Sometimes in the heat of the moment, I forget to start spamming Blizzard. You can see I'm way overstacked on magic right now. But like Blizzard with short hopping is a really good choice right here. I use Thunder because it's I'm moving towards him and I just don't want to risk missing it. So you can see here I try to hide behind a wall and I think I actually... Okay, I avoid it, but then Clayton hits me. And again, Clayton is just the most annoying person. So make sure you're dodging those lasers again. Yo, Donald just took that to the face for us. We just decimated Donald. That was funny.
Thunder.
Okay, see right there, Clayton healed himself up. And Clayton, like, full heals. You know, so if you leave him alone too long, he full heals. Once you take down the Stealth Sneak, this fight's basically over.
Thunder.
Just get in Clayton's face. So you just full healed again, and I don't know how many potions he has, but it seems unlimited. Just get up in his face, and then if you have Ripple Drive like I do, if you pick the wand, you can sunlock him through the rest of the fight. So you can see right here, I'm getting those stun locks off by doing ground combos with Ripple Drive. It can get a little hard when he does stuff like this where, you know, you gotta chase him down, but again, even an air combo stun locked him. And like I said, the fight becomes really easy. After the fight's over, you're gonna watch a couple cutscenes, you're gonna end up on top of the waterfall, and you're going into the waterfall caverns. This is a pretty simple platforming area. It kind of is annoying if you forget the path to go like I do a couple times in here, but you're basically, your goal is to head up, grab the few chests that are in here, and eventually you'll get to the top. You can kind of watch my pathing if you need some help with that. So this is a really important part. I put Cure in my quick spells. Cure is really, really strong in Kingdom Hearts 1 because it only takes 1 MP from you to heal. Defensive magic in general, Arrow and Cure are just like essential in this game in my opinion. Especially on crowd mode. It just, maybe it's not essential, but it mitigates a lot of the damage that can be done. So right here, I climbed too high. I should have jumped off right there and got it on that ledge and jumped to the end. I very stupidly climbed all the way to the top, and now I gotta redo some of my climb. I can't remember what I was thinking when I did that, but yeah, I did it. So just barely climb up. Right when you see this ledge, just jump off. There is an area up here that I thought there was a chest. There's not. Okay. But that enables you to get all the way across to the other side. And now there's the final area where you're going to seal the keyhole of Deep Jungle. Congratulations. There's also a White Trinity in here, but don't worry about that right now. You can't use White Trinities. So you're ready to move on to the next area. But before we move on, we're going to do 2 more things. There's 2 mini games inside of Deep Jungle. There is the Vines minigame where you're surfing down the vine, the thing we kept skipping, that you can't actually do until you beat this world. So now that we beat the world, we're going to land again, and I'm going to show you how to get all 50 of the fruits in that minigame. Getting all 50 basically gives you a defense up and a power up. So every 10 that you get a new reward. The first 3 rewards are pretty mid. There's like an AP up and stuff. But the power up and defense up are huge. I mean, an extra strength and an extra defense at this point in the game is absolutely worth it, especially if you're playing on crowd mode where all of your stats are reduced.
No heart, no friends.
Sorry about.
There is one more minigame in Tarzan World where you actually go up to the area called the Vines. I told you I was going to say Vines a million times in like so many different contexts here. But basically you go up into the Vines and you can do like a swinging game where it's like timed. So this is actually where I get all 4 again, which blew my mind because like I am guessing on some of these. Like I do not track this thing. I get like a general idea. But I get 3 lightning shards from this one. Anyways, there's that mini game in the Vines where you can swing and there's like a timer, but you don't get anything for doing it. Like there's literally no point in doing it, and it doesn't give you any achievements. It doesn't give you even like a simple item in this game. So I just can't, like, even in 100% walkthrough, I just can't justify spending time learning and explaining that game because it's just so irrelevant. Again, I got super lucky here. Not only was I guessing, but I also got 2 lightning shards already, and then I got a 3rd lightning shard at the end. That's insane. That means I got 4 lightning shards. Okay, so basically every single time you do this game, you're going to restart in a different area. The first time you go through, all you have to do is collect 10 fruits in the first section, and then you have to leave the game, okay? And you have to restart the game. So once you get all 10 fruits and you restart, you're going to come back, and the left side right here is finally going to open up. You're going to go down the left to trigger the second part of the Vine game, and here's where you get 20 fruits. So now you have to get 20. Each time you get 10 fruits, you're going to get a different reward, then you're going to have to restart the minigame. So you'll have to do this minigame 5 times, and all I'm showing you is my final time. This is the hardest fruit to get right here coming up. This is the only one I imagine people will mess up on. This is in the second section. You're going to get 3 more fruits to get to 19, and immediately push as far right as you possibly can. So right here, Tarzan's going to break that rock and just keep pushing right. And it's going to force you to the left, and you're going to be like, no, 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 I want to go right, I want to go right. So the first time you come through the second section, it's going to force you to go right here too. But then you come through again to do your 30 run, and you can go to the left. So now we're going to go into the 30 section and show you where all those fruits are. So I find it, if I'm doing this for the first time, I'm just slowing down as much as I can. The time record thing up top, don't even pay attention to it. It's not important at all. It doesn't mean anything. Online, you'll see some guides that say like, oh, you have to get a certain time to get a reward. I didn't find that to be the case at all. I looked at those times that people said, and I got slower times, and it was no big deal. So here, originally, you're gonna have to go left, and now that I've done it a fourth time, I'm coming through for my 40 run, it's open on the right, okay? So now we're going in through on the right, and we're doing our 40 run. And again, just slow down. Just pull back on the left analog stick and slow down in these areas. Right there, there's a tree branch you need to hit or jump over like I just did, but don't jump over it. Like I jumped over it with the Keyblade hit. If you jump over it too big, you will actually miss that fruit. And now these fruit, the last couple you have on the far right, and then you have 2 on the far right and 4 on the far left. Again, you'll be forced to go to the right after this one, and then once you come back through a 5th time, you'll go left. Now this is your 50 run. I actually thought that every single run except for 20 was like really simple. So you'll see right here, I'm just slowing down and grabbing all of these fruits. It seems like I'm gonna fall down these holes, but you can't, like you just won't fall down. And I get my power up. So that's the final reward of doing this. So now we're heading back out into the Gummi ship, and I'm gonna put my Meteor G on my ship now. Your Meteor G is a laser, and I love the lasers. Eventually, it's the only weapon that's actually gonna be on my Gummi ship. Will just be nothing but lasers. And we're gonna end this out with just a quick little flight from the Coliseum so I flew to the Coliseum, and now this is a flight from the Coliseum to Traverse Town. So now we're heading to Traverse Town. We got our Navi Gummi, and we're heading back to Traverse Town to have Sid look at the Navi Gummi we got and install it on our ship. In the next episode, we get to go to this underground waterway. We get to go to Merlin's house. We get our first summon. We go to Winnie the Pooh for the first time. Like, there is a lot of stuff to do in the next episode, and it's a really fun. And then, oh my god, opposite armor. Forget about everything else. Opposite armor. A really annoying boss that can really give you a run for your money if you don't know what you're doing. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of this Gummi flight, and I'll see you in the next episode.